On the main video on my channel, I briefly go over my 360-degree steering wheel solution, which is basically taking this setup here, which has a Turbo Twist 2 spinner. I replaced the top with the little steering wheel that you can get with it, and I attached a cheap plastic steering wheel on top of that. The two things I don't like about this are that the wheel obviously feels light and cheap, and more importantly that the wheel is off-centered. So at the very least I wanted to make a new housing with the wheel centered. While I was at it, I figured I might as well get a more substantial steering wheel so it feels a little bit nicer when I'm using it. What I did is I took one of these quick release adapters. You're supposed to have this spline here for your steering wheel, and there's a two-part thing which is here. You squeeze it and pull it off with your steering wheel. There's a spring that comes within it. I took the two parts out, separated them, flipped them around, and made this weird contraption, and then attached it to a spinner. So that's what I created there. The main issue, if I have an issue with this wheel, is that it's slightly too large. It's 13.5 inches across. Pole position steering wheel is only about, it's a little under 12 inches, so you're basically getting an extra inch around the sides. Not a big deal, but it is worth noting. So this is the housing I put together. I might paint the base at some point, but for now I'll just leave it. The spinner I use is actually the GRS T-Sticks button style arcade spinner shown here. The one disadvantage I've seen so far with this versus the Turbo Twist is that the shaft that comes out has a little bit of play. You probably can barely see it on there, but it does have just a little bit of play, which will translate to the wheel obviously. Though I can say when I'm playing with that wheel, which is pretty heavy, I've never noticed anything. I'm concentrating on just spinning the wheel, and I've never really noticed that as an issue, but it's worth noting. And of course, this is not going to be arcade quality where you can do pull-ups on the wheel, you know. This is some homemade thing I put together, but it's been working for me. I've probably played this for, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. I've had no issues. I guess time will tell how much longevity it has, but we'll see. The positive things about this spinner, though, was first of all the price. It was $55, which is certainly less than the Turbo Twist. The shaft itself, even though it's got a little bit of play, is larger, so it can probably handle the weight of the wheel better. The spinner top that actually comes with is larger, which made it easier to attach to the wheel. It also comes with 2 buttons, which is perfect for this because I need a button for turbo on off-road or Indy heat, and then for playing APB you got the siren button, plus if you get far enough you have a weapon button. So you got 2 buttons and the wheel, which is perfect. And then I just have the wire run out of the back here. This isn't the longest wire. It will come out farther than what I have here, but either way I'm going to need a USB extension, so I just put it out like this. One problem I do run into with this setup as well as my original is the weight distribution on the wheel. So in this case there's added weight here, so if you're not touching it, it's going to tend to rock a little bit like this. So what I have done in the past and on this wheel is I just put a little piece of gauze in between the spinner and the housing, and that adds extra friction that really slows down that rocking effect. And of course if you're touching the wheel it's not going to do that. I can also add some weights in certain sections to try and balance it out a little bit, but that's just fine-tuning I can do in my own time. So this is my standard steering wheel setup. It's the GT Omega race stand that I'm using with my Logitech G27 wheel. So this tray here is attached with 4 of these wing bolt things. So I remove the front 2 and actually spin the whole tray back like this. It stops here, not normally, but because I added this wire here, it stops in that position. So then the new unit I made to fit nice and snug on this tray. Now when I'm actually playing, I'll put some clamps on here just to prevent it from leaning forward. But as you can see, when I have that added gauze, it really slows down the amount of rocking that it does. And of course, with this setup, I have the pedals I need. I have my buttons here for off-road and games like that. And of course, I have the shifter I can use for high-low gears and pole position, 4-speed shifter and super bug, so on and so forth. So I have everything I need for my 360 degrees driving games with this setup.